Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of our Project Ozone 3 Mythic Mode series, where we're going to be doing something different today. We're going to be doing sort of a talk heavy episode today, focusing on just sort of doing stuff that we like to do instead of what we have to do. Recently, this mod pack has been very grindy and has felt a whole lot like work and not a lot like something I'm playing for fun. So if you like an episode like this where I am talking about some stuff in the background and we don't really do too much progression, let me know. But if you also want progression heavy episodes, also let me know. I'm just waiting really for my blank runes to keep spawning. So I just used 15,000 blank runes on the tanks for the infinite tank. And I'm just waiting for them to continue to fill in so that I can keep using more of those. Recently, I have been really grinding this series out, I feel like. And the end of this mod pack is starting to feel quite a bit like work. And as someone who doesn't do YouTube full time, who just sort of does it as a hobby, I want to avoid work as much as possible. I think that if we spend all of our time focusing on working and making everything that we do sort of something that we have to measure our value at, our progress for, it's pretty unhealthy. So me as a person, I am very how do I say this without sounding like a pretentious jerk? I'm super duper keyed into like working and doing work, and I sort of equate my value as a person to working and working well and properly, doing my job well, and doing my job properly, which has been a huge help for me as like a teacher. It has allowed me to really progress my career pretty far in my field of work. I love teaching, and I'm lucky enough to teach a bunch of amazing students every single day of the week, pretty much. Uh, and because of my sort of drive and passion for it, and my desire to be the best at it, I get a lot of positive feedback and reinforcement from my boss, my coworkers, and the students that I teach. But on the flip side there, that also means that I'm pretty much constantly highly stressed out as I really take and sort of equate my value based off of the work that I'm doing. And sometimes when that work doesn't go well, it really feels like I myself am not doing so well either, which is I'm sure a lot of you probably know, a pretty junk garbage feeling that we don't want to have. And so what I wanted to talk about is it's very important to sort of like release those feelings and take a step back and look at what you're doing and think, is this something that I should really worry about judging myself off of? So this has affected me a lot personally recently, especially with this particular series. My YouTube channel is something that I started off doing as a hobby, something that I wanted to do in order to make myself sort of a better teacher on Zoom. Back during the pandemic, I had to teach on Zoom a lot, every day of the week, essentially, right? And teaching on Zoom is a completely different sort of monster. Let me take a step back and make sure that I'm doing everything correctly here. Yeah, I need one row because I want to keep this pink border on my little mini golf area here. Teaching on Zoom is a completely different monster as compared to teaching in the classroom setting, because students are at home and they're usually a bit sleepier, or their computers are, they're more comfortable and less likely to talk to you because they don't feel as it's as necessary, right? They're in their pajamas, they're at home, and they're chilling out and doing what they want to do, which, you know, more power to them. I am certainly not upset at them for being comfortable and being happy at home, but it made for a difficult class, especially as a ESL teacher, where I teach English as a second language, and I also teach mostly like debate and stuff. It's really hard to have debates in a class over Zoom where you have a bunch of students who just are not interacting and talking and filling in that class time. So I started my YouTube channel as a way to practice talking for long periods of time without anybody talking back, right? Without anybody interacting with me. And it grew into this hobby. I've always loved video games. I've always loved playing Minecraft, or especially like Civilization or something like that. And a long time ago, about 4 or 5 years ago now, wow, it's been a long time. One of my favorite Minecraft YouTubers, I'm sure most of you know Etho. Etho's like, whoa, oh, it's a meteorite. That's the danger of building my mini golf park here on the moon. Oop, got burnt. Etho started his Project Ozone 2 series on YouTube, and I always told myself, if I start a YouTube series, my goal is to finish up a Project Ozone series, because I enjoyed his series so much. But what that means is I started out this channel, and it was just a hobby for me, and it was something that I did in my free time. And it made me feel happy, and it made me feel good, and it still does. But there came a point where, because of my sort of semi-obsessive personality, once I started getting, my early videos really did very well. I don't know what I was doing to the algorithm to set the algorithm off, but man, the algorithm was taking me away. I was getting 5,000 views a video without even really like doing any clickbaity titles or even really trying to get that many views per video. So whatever was going on there, I kind of wish I could recreate that success, but it also put such a huge mental burden on me because suddenly I was doing well and I wanted to be the best, right? So I pushed myself and pushed myself. Like, I need to put out more videos. I need to put out more content. I need to make sure that I sound entertaining. I need to make sure that I sound educational. I need to make sure that my videos are of a standard, a high enough quality to get things done. And over time, not to sound like I'm complaining, because I'm not complaining. I love making my YouTube videos, and I love the fact that I get the support from everybody that watches my videos and supports me, even though it's no longer 3,000 a video and it's more like 100 a video. I still appreciate all the support that I get from my diehard viewers that watch pretty much every episode that I put out. It did lead me to a situation of extreme burnout. And that's something I wanted to talk about today. We all sort of have hobbies, right? We all have things that we do that makes us happy and make us feel good, that start off as something relaxing, right? For me, it was YouTube. I also love cooking and drawing and doing various creative things. And over time, that relaxing hobby for me ended up becoming like a source of stress, because I was so caught up and fascinated with the idea of having to be the best. And my students, I see that happening in my students almost all the time at my school is my poor students are constantly like caught up in thinking like, how can I be better? How can I be better? I have to be, what color is this? Magenta concrete. I have to be better. I have to be the best, right? So that's a really unhealthy, is this EMCable? Can I check you? That's a really unhealthy mindset is what I want to get at today, because it just leads you to, excuse me, you're EMCable, right? Am I crazy? Magenta concrete. Yeah. Magenta concrete powder is EMCable. What if I put you in there? What's going on here? Am I out of EMC? Emerald. 2 times 7, 8 times. I have EMC. Why isn't my concrete working here? Magenta. Well, whoops. Let me be right back after I check on this. All right, well, for whatever reason that worked as soon as I got back to the overworld. So yeah, whatever that was, I don't know what was going on there. But as soon as I went to the overworld, we got it back. Maybe it was like, maybe I can't do it in a different dimension. Whatever it would have been. We got it sorted out and fixed now. As I was saying, sometimes we all have hobbies that make us feel good, and we all want to do our best, and we all sort of feel that pressure of being our best, right? And what I wanted to talk about is how just unhealthy that is. What I've come to learn that it is just not a good idea to put that much pressure on yourself all the time, because we can't be the best every single day, right? We do our best, we try our best, and we work as hard as we can every single day. And if we don't do as well as we expected, sometimes we had to sort of take that and just accept it, live with it, move on, and reflect on it later. So as I've said, with this YouTube channel, I was very concerned about, doing the best that I can do, producing good quality videos, and getting high views. So I sort of had a marker for myself. High views, high subscriber rates equals doing my best, equals good time spent, equals worthwhile effort. And it made me lose sight of the whole reason that I started this channel in the first place. It was just a hobby of mine that I was using to become a better speaker and become more comfortable with myself talking and filling in time. Oh, what strange music. Let's turn that down. Okay. And now I've sort of reconnected a bit with that purpose for this. So yes, Project Ozone is continuing on the channel, but Project Ozone has become super grindy, and I don't get that much time to play this mod pack every week due to my in real life job. So I don't want to push myself very hard to constantly be thinking about this and constantly be working on this. So I'm going to continue this, but I'm going to take the pressure off of myself a little bit with it and worry a little bit more about just having fun with it. Instead of having this end goal of completing the mod pack as fast as I can equals good series, I'm going to look at it a bit more as having fun, talking to my viewers, expressing myself, and finishing off these builds, building things instead of just sitting in a crafting screen, right? Which is what I tend to do with these modded series. You just sort of sit forever in a crafting grid, recursively crafting various expensive, crazy, insane recipes. Instead of that, I'm going to work a little bit more on just talking, connecting with you guys, and getting your opinions on certain subjects. And I hope that you like that format and appreciate that format moving forward into the future. Let's just round that off there. And we need to figure out how to connect this up to this, and it's looking a little flat. We're gonna be putting in some slimy trees here or there to sort of fill this up, fill this in, and make it look a little bit better. So if you are concerned about the new direction for the Project Ozone series, please feel free to comment down below and let me know what you think about it. But I want to be very clear that yes, this mod pack is staying on the channel, and I will be finishing it. I will do all the crazy things with the chaos catalysts and planks and various things, but instead of pressuring myself to progress forward with the mod pack every single episode, I'm going to focus a little bit more on fun things like finishing up my mini golf park and just talking. So one of the things I would like to talk about today is, like I said, stress, relaxation, stress. What do you guys like to do to relax in your free time? What sort of things do you do to get your mind off of things and make yourself feel better? Besides playing video games, one of my favorite hobbies is watching movies. I love going to the movies. I think the whole cinema experience is sort of like, I don't know, I just going to the movies, sitting in the movies, eating popcorn with a giant Sprite, watching all the previews. That is one of my absolute favorite things to do. And the reason I talk about this is I feel like this year, as I'm recording this, 2023, is a fantastic year for cinema. Not every movie's been great, but every movie I've seen so far has been a spectacle. I went and watched The Flash, and I know everybody is sort of super down and hating on The Flash. And you know what? If you don't like The Flash, I can see why. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't feel like it was a particularly fantastic movie when I watched it. I feel like the movie itself had quite a few dialogue issues, and I feel like problems with Ezra Miller aside, I feel like there needed to be more people on the screen than just himself. However, I see all the hate that it's getting online, and I do not agree with those takes. Man, everybody is saying it's like the worst movie made in like the past 30 years. And I gotta be honest, guys, I completely disagree with that particular take on the whole thing. I thought that it was better than a bunch of the last few Marvel movies that we've gotten in the past couple of years. As much as I love Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd is one of my favorite comedic actors right now, I thought the last Ant-Man was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I felt like Flash was way better, way more enjoyable than that. I also enjoyed Flash way more than I enjoyed the last Black Panther movie. I didn't think the last Black Panther movie was particularly good. Although I have to be honest, I do appreciate the tone and the type of movie they were going for. Kind of like a more of a political thriller sort of movie than an action movie. But they did, you know, sort of ruin that themselves by putting in giant action set pieces. So, you know, potato, you got to take the good with the bad there. What did you guys think about The Flash, if you've seen it? One of the worst movies I've seen this year, recently, last week, I went and watched the new Indiana Jones, and oh my god, I have to say, incredibly disappointed by that particular movie. I felt like, oh, I just sort of wish they'd stop making those movies. I don't want to see an 80-year-old, 85-year-old Indiana Jones. I love Raiders. I think Raiders is one of the best films ever made, especially due to the stunt coordination and all of the practical effects that came into Raiders and all the other old Indiana Jones movies. And I gotta say, as much as Harrison Ford did his best, as much as Mads Mikkelsen really does his best in the movie, I gotta say, a 2 hour and 30-minute Indiana Jones movie is not something that ever needs to be done again. So everybody's hating on The Flash and calling it the worst movie ever. I thought it was way more enjoyable than this final Indy movie, and I think it's kind of sad that a movie franchise with such name recognition and respect as the Indiana Jones series kind of goes out on this fizzly, flat, sad note. And as much as I really hope that they don't make any more of a series with Phoebe Waller-Bridges, not that I have any problem with a female Indiana Jones or with Phoebe Waller-Bridge by herself, I just thought that the character was pretty crap, and I kind of just hope that they don't continue the the whole thing on. I really would just like them to end it. I'm a little sad with how it is going to be ended on such a terrible flat note, and hope that they can do something a little better. One thing that I am super excited to watch, though, is the Barbie movie, and I think I am in agreement with half of the world right now that we are super jazzed for going to watch this Barbie movie. And as soon as it comes out here in Korea, I am booking a ticket to go watch it. I think that's where we're going to leave this episode today. If you like the idea of more talky episodes like this, please let me know, and let me know your opinions on everything that I talked about down below. Remember, if you're doing a hobby for fun, don't make it work. We can't always be the most gifted people at everything that we do. Skill and good work comes with time. And if you're thinking about making yourself the best from the get-go, your fun hobby that you've used to sort of make yourself feel better is not going to make yourself feel better anymore. All right. Comment down below what you think about those movies I talked about and what you do to relieve your stress. As always, this has been STG Sheep, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.